Have you ever wondered why some remodelers seem to have it all figured out? They've got steady profits. They have a reliable team, and they always have smooth projects. While others are constantly struggling just to stay afloat and keep the chaos under control. See, I used to think the difference was just luck. Maybe some guys were in the right market, had just, a knack of always finding the right clients. Or they just consistently got the good breaks. But after years of running my own remodeling business and then being fortunate enough to coach others, I've realized something huge. Struggling remodelers always get the same three things wrong. And if you're not careful, these three mistakes, they'll keep you trapped in a cycle of stress, frustration, and barely scraping by.
Hello, this is the HackHour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Minges.
All right, so welcome back to the HackHour Podcast. We're excited to have you. Look, today we're breaking down these three areas, right? The three parts of the business that most remodelers really struggle in. So I'm going to show you why these three specific problems impact remodelers and what happens when they don't fix them, right? And it's always the same three. No matter where you look, no matter what you do, right? The guys just struggle one time after another. So we're going to take a sneak peek and you're going to see how you can start turning things around right now. Because once you get these three things right, your remodeling business transforms. It's no longer of, man, if or will I succeed, but it's just a matter of when and I am going to succeed. So let's dive in. All right, so why are these three mistakes so destructive? This is what I've found for me. See, these three issues will wreck many remodeling business because they hit you where it hurts the most. Your cash flow, your ability to scale, and your day-to-day sanity. See, mistake number one, low profit margins. See, you just can't outwork a bad price. Many of you are just starting the job off on the wrong foot. It's as if you're carrying a 50-pound weight and trying to swim at the same time. You're just making it impossible. Because you can't make up bad pricing. You think you can with more volume. But in this business, it's very tough. And why are most remodelers way underpriced? Because they think being competitive means charging less. But being and charging less, that's a race straight to the bottom. Again, you just can't outwork bad margins. That's why the failure rate's so high in the remodeling world. Every remodeler thinks, I'm better than that. That's not going to happen to me. I can tell you it happened to me. I watched what bad margins do, right? You think I'll make it up on the next job, and you don't. So if you're not making somewhere near that 50% gross profit at the minimum that we talk about, then you're already losing before the job even starts. You should start changing your plans. You should go fishing for the day. Don't even send yourself out. The risk is too high for these low price jobs where you're undercutting yourself. Here's mistake number two. Many of you are just hiring the wrong person, right? You're hiring people that you're hiring because you found a body. You hired because your neighbor needed a job or your brother-in-law has nothing else to do. So you're like, why don't you come help me out? And he doesn't give you a hard time, but he doesn't do a good thing either. And here's the brutal truth. If you can't build a solid team, your business is never going to grow. See, you want the A-team players. You want the best guys that you can find. And they don't join a losing team, and they're not looking to work for cheap wages. That's the biggest lie that remodelers tell themselves, right? They'll say, there's just no good workers out there. Well, the real problem is most guys just don't have a system for attracting, training, or keeping the right people. I remember the first few guys I hired, one of them happened to be a gentleman that lives 2 doors down. And he would see me coming and going, and I would see him at home most of the time, not working a lot. And I remember thinking, I could use an extra hand, and this guy doesn't seem to be doing much with his life, so maybe he'd want to help me out, right? And he had his moments where he was good, but more and more of his moments were not so good. He had no motivation. He didn't have big aspirations in life. He was just happy with whatever somebody would give him. And that's not where I was trying to go with my business. See, he wasn't helping me. Me saving money on his wage, that wasn't helping me. But I was new, and I thought that's the way to do it. Mistake number 3, poor job costing and tracking. Some guys don't even know what job costing is, right? It took me a little while to figure out that I need to keep track of how much time the guys are doing certain tasks. That way, I can go back at our end of year books and numbers, and I can see, am I estimating properly? Where is it that we excel, and where is it that we're not really excelling? So it's important that you, as the remodeler, are aware of where you're unknowingly bleeding money. Because if you're not tracking your job costs from the start, you're really gambling with your profits, right? You price a job, maybe the material costs go up. Maybe the labor's taking longer than expected. And suddenly, you're barely making peanuts, if anything. Maybe, and most likely, you're losing money. And if you're not tracking anything, then it's hard for you even to know where you're making the mistakes and how do you even start to correct them. Does this sound familiar? I've been there. I've made these mistakes. So don't worry. You're not alone. But if you do want to fix them, well, here's what happens next, right? Or if you don't fix them, let's look at that. Let's look at what happens next if you don't fix them. Because a lot of you guys are good at ignoring problems. I know I've been. So if you don't fix these 3 things, the game never changes. You'll always be in a feast or famine mode. You'll feel stuck, overworked, and underpaid. You might even start questioning if you should just go back to working for someone else. You remember that day when you thought, man, I cannot stand working for this company. I so want to start my own thing. I am going to be so much better. I'm so much smarter than these guys. And then boom, the car door hits you right in the forehead. And you're like, I thought I knew how to make money, but I don't. I thought I knew how to hire people. I sure don't. Right? So you have all these problems in your business. And it's like, but when do you fix them? Right? When do you finally get your freedom? Right? When do you get the freedom to pick the jobs you want? The freedom to finally hire and train the right people. The freedom to scale and actually start enjoying your business. Where's that road? So let's talk about how you could possibly fix them. I can tell you this, nobody's going to come do it for you. So you either get busy fixing or you just might as well continue going down that dying road. So I'm not going to give you every single step here, right? That's not what the podcast is for. That's what we get into in our coaching programs. And that's what we get into in the Remodeling Riches program. And that's what we get into our challenges, right? But here's a taste of what it looks like if you want to truly fix these issues. Profit margins? Well, it starts with you pricing the job based on the profit that you need, not just what you think people will pay. That one might sting a few people. Skilled workers, you got to consider shifting from I can't find good workers to how do I attract and keep the top workers? And job costing, look, at a bare minimum, use some sort of a basic system that at least tells you your job costs, simple tasks. Maybe break it down to 5 things. That way you know before jobs start what you have budgeted for so that when they're over, you can compare and see if you did or did not and where you did or did not excel. See, once these goals are in place, success becomes rinse and repeat process. Right now, for many of you, it's just like the faucet's on and you're just watching profits go down the drain. So again, it's not if you'll hit your income goals. If you fix these three things, it's just a matter of when and how frequently. Now, let's think about it. What if you actually fixed these things? Let's imagine this. You're on a remodeler's vacation. You're living your dream life, right? You're waking up every day, and now you know that, man, every job that my company books, every job that my company is working, every job that my company has completed is profitable. Man, I have a solid crew. They show up, they get the work done right, they leave the customer with a pleasant remodeling experience. They don't leave me scrambling. Imagine, what if you never had to wonder if you are actually going to make money, or are you actually making money on the job because you already knew your numbers going in from the beginning? See, I've seen remodelers go from stressed out, living paycheck to paycheck, to contractors and remodelers who finally are running that multi-million-dollar business. It can happen in under a year, all by fixing these three things. The only question is, are you going to keep struggling? Are you ready? Or are you finally ready to fix what's broken? So let's discuss the remodeler's wake-up call. And it comes early in the morning. I can guarantee you that. If you're ready to stop making these mistakes and finally take control of your business, then get yourself over to the remodelingriches.com. Sign up for our challenge today. We're going to help you fix your pricing, build out your team, get your job costing under control, right? For once and for all. Don't wait until another job drains your bank account. Fix it now. I'll be there. I'll see you inside the challenge if you want your business to do and finally be the thing that you've always wanted for it. So the hardest truth, I think, for a lot of us is, I know at one point I thought somebody was going to help me. I thought, the next customer, they're going to be better. The next employee, he's going to be better. The truth is, nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself, right? It's up to you, the remodeling entrepreneur, right? The reality is that you are never going to escape the struggle. It's not because you aren't skilled. It's because you're most likely just going to keep making the same three mistakes over and over again. And we're just going to chalk you up in the failed, tried it, but couldn't hack it column. And that pile is littered with contractors all across the country. More remodelers fail than make it. And yet it doesn't have to be that way, right? All the failed remodelers, same story. Priced the jobs too low, just couldn't make a profit. Thinking they needed to be the cheapest to win the job. Afraid, right? Always afraid of price. Those remodelers, all you got, the ones that fail, they just keep trying to do everything themselves. Do you ever catch yourself saying, well, nobody else does it like I do. Nobody else pays attention. If you want it done right, I got to do it. Well, the guys that you hire, that might be true. But what if you found that there are guys who care? A lot of you guys are going to fail because you just can't track costs. Not going to do it, not going to learn how to do it, and you'll just wonder why profits disappear. Now, keep in mind, these guys, the ones that fail, this is what you hear them say. Man, I have to keep my prices low or I'm going to lose that job. Man, there's no good workers out there anymore. Nobody wants to work hard in this economy. Man, I'll figure out my profit later, right? I just need to get the job started. We'll make it up on the back end. We'll make it up in volume. Man, and that kind of mindset, that's exactly why many remodelers are stuck and failing. So here's the truth. Man, you don't have to struggle like this. Your business can be better. Once you start charging what you're worth, hiring and keeping skilled workers, tracking job costs, before the work actually begins, man, your business will transform. You'll stop feeling like a daily battle, and it will start running like a well-oiled machine. It'll be something you get up and you look forward to because you're finally winning. It's fun to win in business. And when you're losing every day, that's no fun. So if you're ready to win again and start winning consistently and stop making mistakes like it's your goal in life, and if you're ready to start running a real, truly profitable remodeling business, come join the Remodeling Riches Challenge today. Go over to remodelingriches.com and sign up. It's that easy. Stop making it so hard. What's the difference between struggling and thriving? It's fixing these 3 simple things that we've just talked about before they break you, and they will break you over time. So let me ask you, where's your mindset that you have currently gotten you? Are you still working 60 plus hours a week, burning the candle at both ends, on the job site during the day, running estimates at night, giving them free estimates still? Are you chasing cash flow instead of controlling it? Are you always looking for ways to shave some time because you didn't charge enough? Are you tired of meeting with your accountant at the end of the year and the accountant saying, you ran a nonprofit this year? You lost $20,000 this year. You didn't make money. Sure, you earned yourself a wage, but you lost money. You were doing those jobs for free. Why don't you set up a proper foundation? Look, a lot of you guys, if you want to give away your time and energy and work for free, well then set up a charity. Right? But stop running around acting like it's a business and charging clients only to run away and lose at the end of the day. Look, nobody's coming to save you. The economy, it's going to do what it does. It's going to shift. Material costs are going to rise. Employees, they're going to come and go. The winners in this industry, they're the ones that adapt. They systematize. They hire smarter, not cheaper. The question is, are you going to keep running in circles? Or are you finally going to step up and learn from your failures and build that remodeling business that doesn't depend on you? Hey, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you disagree? Let me hear it. You fired up? Good. That means you're finally paying attention. And where attention goes, effort flows. Welcome to 2025, gentlemen. Let's get to work. So, if you've listened this far, you probably fell asleep. Hopefully, something that I've said here has struck a nerve. Maybe you're finally just fired up enough, right? Maybe your head's really spinning and you're actually questioning things for the first time. And you're saying to yourself, man, maybe it can be different. Maybe you're saying, that's great. It might work for you, but I can't do that in my market. Well, what if you could? What if your opportunity is there? It's just you don't have the proper tool to get the opportunity. But what if you did? So maybe you're thinking that impossible help, it's not in there. I can't find help anywhere. It's impossible, right? Maybe you're just not looking in the right places. Maybe you think my business can't run without me. But what if the right system and hiring the right employees meant that it could run without you? There's a lot of guys that are making it happen. They're not just lucky. You might think they are. It's time to grow up and realize it's not luck. Maybe you're convinced that no one works as hard as you do, right? They can't succeed. Nobody outworks me. I'm the hardest worker. Yeah, but what if you're just working hard like a washing machine? I mean, sure, they get clothes clean, but at the end of the day, maybe you want to learn how to work smarter, right? Maybe you want to recognize that I do need to hire better people. I do need to find better customers. So if you're tired of being a tired, broke, one-man show remodeler, you're tired of working yourself into the ground, and you're actually ready to step up and build something that runs without you, join that 5-day Remodeler Challenge. It's the first challenge of its kind. It is designed to show you exactly how to stop being the bottleneck in your own remodeling business and finally build a team that works without you. It's not just theory. It's not just fluff. It's real bankable tactics. I've done them. I've helped others do them. The only thing that's preventing you from doing them is you. You are getting in your own way. But maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe finally you're going to stop being your own biggest problem. So let's be honest, man, you're either building a remodeling business or you're just stuck working as a self-employed remodeler. Which one's it going to be? Go over to remodelingriches.com. I dare you. Sign up for the challenge. See if you learn something.
Thank you for listening to the HackHour Podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.